Well, good Wednesday evening to you. I am First Alert Meteorologist David Ernst here with your trying to do this daily weather update. We'll be doing these around 9 p.m. every weeknight, Monday through Friday, as long as our technology allows us to do so. We'll be streaming this anywhere you catch the WBAY live stream, so that's our website. You've got our free First Alert weather app, the news app, our CTV apps for your connected television set. So we've got you covered in a number of places to watch this, including YouTube, and we are also streaming to the WBAY TV2 Facebook page. I'll be keeping an eye on that. If any comments show up, I'll try to address those. And you can always find me on Facebook, David Ernst, WBAY meteorologist. And if you are watching this on your TV, computer, you don't have our WBAY First Alert weather app downloaded and on your device, got the QR code right underneath the camera there for a free download of that. We will be talking about our next weather maker getting into the area on Friday. Rain showers develop over the course of the day, and then later in the evening and perhaps overnight, watching for a round of thunderstorms to come through the area. Some of those could be on the stronger side, with gusty winds being the main threat. We likely see 2 rounds of rain on Friday the 1st. Anywhere from the late morning into the early mid-afternoon, mostly rain showers with that one, and then it would be a round coming in late in the evening or overnight that we would see the potential for those stronger storms. Can't rule out an isolated severe storm. We're a little early in terms of when our traditional severe weather season would happen. In fact, around here it doesn't peak until summer, but we can certainly get into those storms in March or April, although early March is relatively early even by our standards. So we'll see how things play out. I'm keeping the severe weather outlook in the low category right now, but between low and moderate. If we see the energy and dynamics shift a little farther north, we might have to upgrade that. Wouldn't rule it out. It doesn't really matter what time of year it is. If the ingredients are there, the ingredients are there. So we will keep an eye on that potential. But for now, I'm thinking more in the way of garden variety thunderstorms for the most part, and perhaps just a handful of strong storms, maybe an isolated severe warning for winds as a line of storms comes through. Tonight, we will see the possibility for a little bit of patchy fog, some low clouds developing, so have to monitor for some slippery spots in isolated fashion for that Thursday morning drive. Thursday afternoon, maybe we catch a few sprinkles here or there. It is going to be a cooler day with highs staying in the 40s, but not expecting any heavy rainfall around here, maybe just a few isolated showers south of Green Bay. And then on Friday, that's when the heavy rainfall arrives, and it's also when we would be tracking the potential for some thunderstorms, especially later in the day with that second round. Right now, we are looking at still relatively clear skies, just some high, thin clouds overhead, and that largely associated with low pressure passing to our south. In fact, a couple different storms. See one wave of rainfall going through Ohio, and then the next batch of stronger thunderstorms and rain showers setting up to our south. This will continue following a similar track east of our area, southeast of our area. It will likely lead to some additional clouds coming in tonight and into tomorrow, but the rainfall, at least the steady rainfall for the most part, was going to be bypassing us to the south. Looking at your temperatures right now, it's a mixed bag, but most of us are in the middle 30s, although a little colder along the lakeshore. Big reason for that is you were colder in the afternoon. Highs there did stay in the 40s. Meanwhile, for those of us away from Lake Michigan, it was a very nice afternoon. In fact, let me see if I can call up our high temperatures for the day. Normally try to keep things, especially with this forecast driven, but it was such a beautiful afternoon. I got to touch base on that. So let's see. Do I have my highs in here? Doesn't look like it, but that's okay. We can go ahead and get them up. We'll find our high temperatures for the day here. So this is where we topped out at the various monitoring sites across the area. No records being set or anything like that. The record today was 58, but still pretty close to it in Green Bay. 55. We did manage a 58 there in Shawano, 54 Oshkosh, so 57 in Wapaka. Very mild day. Normal highs, as you see at the top there, 35 degrees, so well above that. Let's go ahead then and get into the forecast with First Alert Pinpoint Predictor. We'll start you out just a quick look at tonight and tomorrow, just to show you the cloud cover, wind speed, things like that. Not going to see much of anything else happen, but you'll notice low clouds kind of filling in from the north and some high clouds moving in from the south. So the bottom line here, as we get into Thursday morning, it's likely dry, but mostly cloudy. Notice there at the bottom right of the screen, some rain showers into lower Michigan. It's much more likely that the steady rainfall misses us to the south and east. This runner predictor doesn't generate anything in the area. I will say, though, we could see an isolated shower here or there, mainly to the south of Green Bay. But let's get into the main event, if you will, the chance for some stronger storms coming into the area on Friday. So this is 9 o'clock on Friday morning, and you see a wave of rain showers already getting into central Wisconsin at that time. So the first batch of activity that comes in is late morning, early afternoon, pockets of heavy rainfall. There might be a rumble of thunder embedded in there, but I would not expect anything severe with that first batch. Then a break. And then we'll be watching as we get into the late evening for a round of thunderstorms to start popping up and kind of a cluster or a broken line of storms moving in right around the, and I'll back this map up here, I would call it anywhere from around the 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. time frame for when things will start to kind of move in. This runner predictor keeps it more of a broken cluster of storms as opposed to a line of them coming through as earlier runs it had, but you can certainly see the pockets of red in there. And so essentially what will happen is we'll see storms firing up to our southwest, and then we should see, again, either a solid line or a broken line of thunderstorms heading up this way. And it's going to be within that we could see not only heavy rain and frequent cloud-to-ground lightning, but there is the potential for some isolated damaging wind gusts. That would be the main threat as I see it. Everything wraps up, moves east of the area during the early morning hours, and most of Saturday is dry. There'll be some showers around early in the day, but the heaviest rainfall is going to be occurring at night. The Storm Prediction Center here, severe weather outlook, we'll take a look at that, and it did nudge farther north today. Earlier in the morning, that marginal risk, the level 1 out of 5, was in southern Wisconsin, and that slight risk wasn't even in Wisconsin, but highest risk across parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri tomorrow. That's going to be where storms kind of initiate, and then we'll see activity develop a little farther to the north and push into our region. There is that slight risk, level 2 out of 5, down in southwestern Wisconsin, mainly south and southwest of Madison. As you get into far northern Wisconsin, upper Michigan, you might hear some thunder, but probably nothing severe. But right through the Fox Valley, central eastern Wisconsin, we are in that marginal risk for severe storms. What that means, not an outbreak of severe weather, but a handful of stronger thunderstorms, maybe an isolated severe warning or two possible. The main threat here is going to be for damaging wind gusts around 55, 60 miles per hour. Given this time of year with the cold air aloft, certainly can't rule out some hail developing either, but I would be looking for wind to be the main culprit for any warnings that would be issued in the local area. Again, that would be isolated in nature, but nonetheless something we will be watching for on Friday. No big cool down just yet behind the system. In fact, temperatures will be trending milder as this unsettled weather moves in. So tomorrow's highs are likely to stay in the 40s, but then 50s on Friday, low 50s on Saturday, upper 50s on Sunday. 63, my forecast on Monday. In fact, that would be a record high. 59 is the record we'll be going up against on Monday afternoon, so we could have some record-breaking high temperatures there. I'll take you through a quick look here. Just go through our temperature forecast locally for tomorrow. Low 40s lakeside, and just about everybody else into the middle 40s. So about 10 degrees or so cooler than it was today, 10 or 15 degrees cooler than it was today. Cloudy skies, kind of dreary looking, not too windy though. Winds will be out of the northeast, but only around 5 or 10 miles per hour. So just kind of keeping temperatures down, but a look at what is to come. This is going to be that temperature on Wednesday. Your highs, upper 30s to around 40 degrees. That does look a little warmer than it did yesterday, and it's still above average, but a whole lot cooler than the 63 we saw there on Monday. So if you are a regular viewer of Action 2 News, you know we kind of joke around and have been calling these little mild spells fake springs. I would call what we're getting into fake spring number 2. It'll be our second batch of that abnormally warm weather, but we do see a return back into those colder conditions. In fact, as you look at next Thursday through a following week, you get into the below average territory there on the CPC temperature outlook. So again, average high this time of year is 35, 36 degrees. So below average, obviously anything under that. So it could mean upper 20s, lower 30s. Definitely trending cooler as we head into the middle of March. So enjoy that nice weather while it's around, especially on Sunday and Monday. Both of those days might have a little bit of wind, but outside of that, they should both be pleasant temperature-wise. Upper 50s on Sunday and lower 60s on Monday. Again, both days look like they will be dry. Something else this weekend not to forget about, we do spring forward. So on Saturday night before you head to bed, make sure you set those clocks ahead by 1 hour as we will be getting back into daylight time. We do lose that hour of sleep, but you get an extra hour of daylight in the evening, so that is the trade-off. We will have a full rundown of your local news, highlights, sports, and of course, talking weather as well. Action 2 News at 10 o'clock coming up in about 45 minutes. Hope to see you there. Have a safe Wednesday night and a good Thursday.